Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Harbour. We've taken a very long hiatus. I think it's been 6 months since we released our last episode. And let me tell you, our first semester has been so incredibly busy here at Harbourfront that I think we just did not find the time. But now that, things have died down a little, winter break is coming up, mids are happening, so I managed to find some time today to record this episode. So, okay, like I mentioned, it's been very busy. So I do want to talk about one of the flagship events that we had this year called HarbourMUN. In fact, this was the second year that we've launched this flagship event, HarbourMUN 2.0. So I have two students here with me today who play very prominent roles in HarbourMUN. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'm Khuda Bakhsh. I'm the president of the current HarbourMUN, and I was one of the founding members of the HarbourMUN as the first event happened last year. And I played the role in managing quite a bit of the event. Next to me is Rumaisa and Hameedy.
I'm Rumaisa and Hameedy, and I was the Secretary General of HarbourMUN. I'm from AS.
Yeah, okay, great. So you both had really, really huge roles to play in this year's HarbourMUN, right? Let's talk a little bit about, what you really liked about HarbourMUN. What were the highlights? What were the really fun points that you guys noticed?
I would like to say a lot of the fun parts were such as the drives. We had our advertisement campaigns, our social media management.
Yes, yeah. I loved.
The social media was quite fun to make because
it was. I love the page. Go on.
You scroll through the page, and there was so came to me. I think it was Umme. Umme was the main manager of the social media.
Umme, Aisha.
Yeah, and they were all of these fun new ideas aise karte, and they're taking videos and everything all the time, looking at social media and multiple posts. And I remember
really
last
fun.
year social media was quite bland compared to current year, which is a much better improvement.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely improved this year.
The page was very active. They were posting every day. Ek reel roz aati thi.
Yeah, and you were in a lot of them, I remember.
Yeah, I was forced to be in them because...
But you did so well. Even I was in one of them.
Yeah, even you were
that.
You were the best person.
The outraged one. How dare you?
You were the main character in that video.
Main character energy. But yeah, I think for sure, we really, really focused on drives and social media this year. So that was great. What about P&A?
I think P&A by far it was the best committee we had in the MUN because probably because the most experienced delegates we had were in P&A.
It was the also most active
rather
committee.
Than the other committees because
they were really enthusiastic about playing their role.
The other committees had newbies.
Yeah.
You could hear their screams and cheers from 2 floors above and below, and everyone was looking at me what's happening upstairs, man? Are they fighting or something? And I go upstairs.
I think the reason for this was because it's a localized committee. People are more interested in Pakistani politics than international politics. So I would say that has a big role in how successful the committee was. Plus the chairs.
I was asking around with the person I placed on MUN to manage it, and over there in the P&A he tells me, bro, they're planning coups against each other and all that.
Do you know
Abdullah Jamal and Yasir Shahani?
Yeah.
They were the chairs.
They were the chairs in the MUN. They did a really good job in the MUN. Quite well nice managed, and they brought out more potential from the kids than they actually was there. So they kind of enhanced the kids even further than they actually were present for there.
That's great.
We garnered them good amount of research time, but they actually it panned out way better than every other committee. I was expecting something like DISEC or CCI to do better, but CCI was dissolved into the P&A, and DISEC was really I think they were newbies, so they didn't really partake that much.
DISEC was a bit dull because of how new the people in the committee were. Also, I think Hitler's cabinet was a success as well, considering the fact that it's a historical committee and it's pretty new. I don't think Karachi has seen that kind of historical committee.
Yeah, we made it as a meme, sort of, as a joke. We sort of made it in the
But it was also
sort of a joke. I actually told Taha, let's do Hitler's cabinet as a joke.
And he was
but he was interested.
Good.
He was both acha hai. He was we have to do
Sir Taha was always acha idea na kar lete.
But it was your idea.
Yeah. So Hitler's cabinet was basically just I was watching a video about Hitler and I thought this can turn into a historical committee. So I thought of it sort of as a joke, but let's ask Taha. He's probably not going to agree to it since it's a pretty controversial topic. Everyone knows how.
And then she pitched her Taha, and Taha was like, "That's a good idea. Let's do it." And you look at her face, and she
She's like,
I didn't actually want it to be committee, but sure, okay.
But I think that was also a very successful one.
Funny
was very
part,
successful.
I think we went to Discovery Campus and North Nazabad, and I was there during both ones, and I was pitching over there for Hitler's cabinet. And the moment Hitler's cabinet, all the kids were like stopping, looking at me like, seriously?
Because it's pretty different.
Can I
in
be
you.
Hitler?
It's pretty different in you. Like most of the MUNs you see, they mostly have the international committees. DISEC, UNSC, it's just limited to that. So I think they just needed something interesting, Hitler's cabinet.
Something they were more familiar with.
Yeah. Definitely.
Even the girl, you said that the girl who showed up as Hitler, she had a
small mustache over here.
And she really played into that
that's
role.
what we really liked about
she
the
played a role really well.
The
And then-
delegates were very enthusiastic.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because she did even.
And the chairs, hats off to the chairs for making such a success. They kept giving
Chairs did an amazing job in all the committees, I'm not gonna lie.
they
Because
kept giving real life updates of Hitler's cabinet, just the actual World War II के time में हुआ था. So I think that's what.
That's so fascinating. I love it.
it was one of our main points of the MUN, right? Crisis committees.
Yeah, it was.
So
crisis.
the chairs did an amazing job in this regard, where they literally the dynamics of the committee was entirely aimed and forwarded by them in a really nice manner. So hats off to the chairs once again. Thank you a lot. We really appreciated you right there. But
Thank you, Labib Bhai and Sama Bhai, and Hira and Abdur Rahman. I remember the names.
This wouldn't have been as successful as MUN it was without you guys. It was quite nice. But I would like to say,
What about UNSCW?
Yes.
UNSCW was our biggest committee, and I had assigned I think 3 people to manage that committee when I went
That's
downstairs.
how big it was.
Yeah, it was the biggest one. It was huge. I think it was it had the most chairs also
Yeah,
at the
6
same time.
chairs,
6 chairs, and I think it was 50-60 kids.
That was huge.
Yeah, 50-60.
40, I guess.
I think it was more than 40, 60, around 60. And then I go in there and I would periodically I would do the roams because I have to check every single person where they're doing the work. And then I go into the UNSCW and I see there and there's I see 60 kids and they're all serious and
They
all
were
get
already
up.
scared of the chairs, but
Yeah, and they were all serious and stern looking, and one of the guys gets up and is like, "Ye bilkul galat ho raha hai," and everyone's just hailing him around like this. And I was I'm not gonna go in that room right now.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I think we even had a lot more delegates this year.
I think the most enjoyment came to the guy who was managing the canteen. Because I visited him during both break time and the speeches, and he was like, "Bro, we made so much money."
Dude, he must have made a killing for sure.
Yeah. It was a nice experience over there.
Oh, and we also had a concert this time. How could I forget the concert? What was that like? How did you find it?
Okay, the concert, it was... Okay, so when we went there weren't that many kids in the beginning for the beginning half hour, which is obvious because when you tell people in Karachi, you tell them 8 o'clock, they come at 8:30. You tell them 9 o'clock, they come at 9:30. They have this habit of going half an hour.
8 means 8:30.
Yeah, 8 means 8:30, and then they leave half an hour extra after the event.
Yeah.
So we call them 8. No one reaches. We call them 6. 6 was the event time. Call them 6. No one reaches there.
Yeah.
I reach at around 6:10, 6:15, and there's no one there. And then the moment it hits 6:30, just the crowd starts coming in. Everything's there. The singer starts to get ready, and I think he started at 6:40. The singer. And people were just around the stage, they're hailing around, everyone's dancing and cheering and all that. And you hear voices. And the canteen guy is still in the back and he's still selling food. And he calls me over. He's like, "Bro, take this free stuff man, on me."
Because I think last year we didn't have a social with the MUN. I think we had it later on, but this time we did it on the same
Last year's social, it was cancelled because this year, I really appreciate that we granted more time to do that. Last year was quite hectic schedule.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have the time to go.
I mean, it's all learning, right? Last year, it was our first one. This year, second
That was a
time
great
doing
improvement
it.
compared to last year. We had more members.
Yeah, as even said, if we're gonna do it a third time, we're not gonna have it on this campus. That's how successful it was. That's how many people are gonna come next time.
That's amazing. Actually, he did mention that. He said we might do it at a hotel or on another campus.
There's the amount of people that came this
We had
time.
50% increase to last year.
Yeah, there's gonna be
more members.
more of an increase even next year.
And I think we also need to start planning well in advance. We might start
Considering
6 months in
the fact that it was
advance
put
now.
off in a month, I think if we give it at least 4 months, it'll be
4 months
even
would be
more
amazing.
amazing, right? But you won't be here, sadly.
I'll
are
be here in
leaving.
spirit.
You'll be here in spirit. You can always visit us.
Yeah, randomly visiting. I could be a sort of mini chair.
You could, okay, yeah,
Assistant
you could.
chair, I could pull that off.
So what is it like for you? You're leaving this legacy now behind.
Do you trust us with it?
I trust majority of you with it. Some of you know, majority of you I do trust in that regard. And you know, I went through both MUNs, and I have to say, the improvement of like the leadership skills and managerial skills amongst the children was actually quite exceptional. And it's not that the newer children, since they learned from us who we already had experience, you guys actually tackled the event much better than we did. So there's like a general improvement. So the legacy I'm leaving by, I'm quite confident you guys will make a really good image out of it.
And you know, there is someone that we haven't mentioned who played the biggest role. No, Miss Mariam.
Of course, Miss Mayam.
She played a huge role.
She's gesturing us to not.
In fact, you know what? Our next episode will feature Miss Mariam because we did not have her. She joined later on after our episode, so she will be a guest speaker on our next episode, guaranteed.
She did
sure.
She did the emails.
I know she did play a big role.
One of our best parts of the MUN was actually the Operations Society. Like the manager of the Operations Society was Amin Faruqi, I think so.
Yeah.
He actually was doing one of
you know, he was pretty amazing.
He literally did what I used to do last year. Last year I was doing that job, running around like 60 times. I went up and I literally counted 60 times. I went up and down 3 floors.
Yes.
I've never seen
He did that in my place.
I've never seen him more furious than
You angry.
those 2 days.
Like you seen a boss at work, like a job boss, like
He
crazy,
was
like what are you doing over here?
You
Why
know
are
what?
you working?
He was the complete opposite of how he is.
Which is
really
bashing kids here and there, left and right.
No, he also did an amazing job. I think there was one point where we were all on the roof. He's like, I want this roof cleaned and clear. In 10 minutes, everyone get to work. I was like, where is this energy coming from?
Imagine me being scared of a person like
he
me.
comes up to me and he's like, यार KB ये काम नहीं कर रहे लोग देखो इनको काम नहीं कर रहे.
Maybe you know what? I will have Amin on another episode as well. How about that? We will have him as a guest.
His presence is highly required.
We do need to hear from him. Okay, another episode. Next episode, like I said, will be Miss Mariam because you guys need to get introduced to her. She has been amazing for our campus, and I want to definitely have an interview with her. She is. I love her. I love her, honestly. But next episode. Okay, guys, so I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much for filming this episode with me. It was really nice to have you both here, talk about HarbourMUN, talk about your experiences.
Reflect on it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So guys, stay tuned for our next episode. And hopefully more episodes to come now that winter break is here. And yeah, we'll see you next time around. Bye.